2, 1. I'm going to give it like 10 seconds. There we go.
Yo.
Tell me about this Mexican streamer.
Yeah, I guess she was like a makeup artist, or she owned a beauty salon. And she ended up, from what it looks like, it was set up by like one of her friends, kept her on the stream extra late, saying, hey, come through, stay on, I have a surprise for you. And then all of a sudden, a guy shows up and shoots her once or twice in the head and twice in the chest.
Live?
Right on the live stream, dude. Like right on the live stream. TikTok scrambled to get the live stream down. But like people were like, people I guess were recording it or whatnot. And, videos out there. Dude, like crazy.
This is real?
This is real.
Is it like Narcos or something?
Who it could be. Who knows what the situation is. Unfortunately, it was in Mexico, so who knows? It could be,
Christ.
Could have been a shakedown. She could have stood her ground, or it could have been petty jealousy. Lovers, who knows, man. But the friend is connected. Oh, wait, they can hear us?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, I'm talking. You guys didn't hear about this? Everyone's like, wait, what? What's going on? She was a popular streamer down in Mexico. She owned her own beauty salon. She was streaming, and a dude just showed up and capped her twice in the head and twice in the chest, right on the live stream.
It's crazy, dude.
I was just reading about it, and I thought it was like some bullshit, like fake content news crap, but it's not. It's an actual story.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm surprised there's not more, unalivings live, or self-unalivings, if you will, live. You know what I mean? It seems like some crazy people would really
take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. What's
going on?
All right. Wow, we got some. Wow, they're jumping in. All right, we're jumping in. So, a little housekeeping business. Our boy Chris is in.
Okay.
Not today, next Thursday.
Next Thursday? Cool.
Yeah. So Chris is like, for anybody who doesn't know, Chris Netzel, right? I mean, dude, this guy's background, John. You've known him for a while?
Yeah.
He's like your camera.
He was a Marine, he was a cop.
You're sort of like half on like this. You're like, this is like what it's like to look at you. You're like this.
All right, you see me?
Yeah. So yeah, he's like an ex-Marine. I mean, and then dude, his charity is like helping out vets and active military and all this stuff. I mean, if I were him, I'd be carrying around a Captain America shield. I mean, there's like nobody that deserves it more than this guy. But he also happens to be a paranormal documenter. I mean, I guess he was inspired by you, if I had to guess, right? You've been doing this longer than anybody, so
I mean, I'm guessing.
But he's got a huge.
I actually don't know how he got started.
Well, we'll find out.
That I don't know.
But we'll find out. He's got a huge following.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'd love to talk to you about that.
Get a different perspective from. I think he's from Texas, and we'll we'll see what he's about and what the ghosts are like down south, I guess. Do they consider Texas the South? Texas, I feel, doesn't consider itself the South. I feel like Texas feels like they're Texas.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like they're like their own
it's
thing.
Actually, they feel like they're their own new thing. I mean, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think half the population wants to split off of the United States government anyway.
I think it's in there. I think it's in the Texas state constitution that they're allowed to split off. Or they're not allowed to, but like they have to do a certain thing and they can get.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize, like what our country, the first big mistake people make with the United States of America is they think this is a democracy. That's
really.
The first real blunder of most people make. It's a republic, to the republic for which it stands.
It's a democratic republic, though. But that talking. Listen, first of all, I'm cutting you off. That talking point of that it's not a democracy, it's a republic, is done by people who want to take away rights to vote. Because then when they do, they can say, look, it's a republic, not a democracy. It has been people trying to chip away at people's right to vote by saying and preaching and
listen.
proselytizing
Yeah,
that
but
we're not a
it,
democracy. It is a
listen,
propagandic
people.
statement.
Hold on, real quick before we continue this. Am I lagging or are you lagging?
You're not lagging to me at all. Are they saying we're
Okay,
lagging?
because the last time we went through this where you were lagging for me, it was actually me lagging the whole time.
You look good to me.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
know
just
if
see
any.
if anybody in the chat, or maybe it was just a blunder. Well, listen, I think people use phrases and words for all sorts of things. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
one person can preach one thing, another person can preach another thing, and they can have two different views. Everyone in the chat is saying it's good, it's good,
Mhm.
but yes, in our I believe it's in our constitution with the proper steps a state can succeed because it's the United States.
Yeah, I don't know, but
You
yeah,
know,
I think Texas even has something different, which is crazy to me. But anyway, um, Chris is a great guy. I'm excited to get him on and talk about it. I'd like to get a perspective from another influencer doing what he does, talking to the people he does, and
yeah,
it'll be cool, man.
yeah,
It'll be very cool.
yeah.
What else going
I
on?
you know what I really like about Chris too
What?
is he is an advocate for mental health. He's always, as
Yes,
far as I know, he's always going on about he's a big advocate for mental health, which is, something in this, people talk about a lot of things in this country that we're missing and lagging on. And mental health. I mean, I was at Letchworth Asylum last night, where,
yeah,
I mean, look how that
honestly,
place was, they treated the people that needed,
yeah,
proper help. You know what I mean? It's always been a very crazy thing in this country when it comes to mental health.
I know.
So I think that's an awesome
Ironically,
thing that he advocates for.
a crazy thing when it comes to mental health. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does he spell his last name? Chris spells his last name.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person
No,
about
no,
spelling.
someone spelled it out there, but I want people to be able to find it. Um, Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. I know we should know that offhand. Come on.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to spell anything.
Netzel.
Yeah.
And I think his handle on TikTok is like official or Chris Netzel official or official Chris Netzel or
Yeah. And what's cool
yeah.
as far as like influencers on TikTok and social media in general, it's cool that he's going to be our first guest for this, and it's not somebody else because I actually really like Chris. I think he's a
Yeah.
great dude. I think he's entertaining. And, it's pretty cool that we're getting him on.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be fun.
Yeah.
He'll be fun.
Right, Foxy?
Right. Um anyway. What else? What else going on your end? What's the latest?
Oh, not much. I'm trying to decide where I'm going tonight.
Oh yeah?
It's not
When's your
supposed
next
to rain,
Capitol
but
visit?
I'm not sure when the next one is. I'm trying to set up for a special event,
Okay.
and hopefully that'll be, it'll be good. But I'm trying to figure out, here's my dilemma, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize how much weather impacts what I do. Not just on a rain scale, on a visual scale. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. You're gonna come with me for 1 minute. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's see it.
I want to show you guys something. This is gonna be the weather tonight, by the way.
Ugh.
So I don't know if you guys can see this.
There's nothing to see. It's just white.
Just white.
It's gross.
Just white.
Yeah, man, it's gross.
And I'll be in that. And I'll be in that. And after a couple hours, I'll get soaked
Yeah, it sucks.
from that. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with for tonight. So, but it won't be raining. And I
Yeah, we
love
gotta
being
find some
outdoors. So
we gotta find you some indoor evil.
yeah, I wouldn't mind more indoor spots for sure.
You know,
I definitely want to find some more indoor spots.
where do you think? Obviously, where do you think would have the most indoor? You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be?
Activity?
Yeah, like I heard. We were talking about nursing homes earlier on your live.
Yeah,
right? You got
nursing
to
homes.
imagine there might be a lot of nursing like
Yeah, some nursing homes. The big issue with a lot of indoor locations around here where I'm at is, property value. We're looking, there's not many places that I can go that aren't in use, aren't being used. Like, you go out to, like, Bumblefuck, in the middle of the country, and there's tons of abandoned asylums and houses and, things that are just rotting that nobody's monitoring, nobody cares about,
right.
hospitals, all sorts of places. Around here, there's
Yeah.
not much. There's not much. Everything is spoken for.
Well, we're assuming that it's where people die, but
Well,
nobody
I don't
died.
assume that.
No, no, but
I don't assume that.
I'm saying most people are because we're saying hospitals,
Most
nursing
people do,
homes.
yes.
But it's like cemeteries. Nobody dies at a cemetery. Very
No.
rarely. They're already dead when
But
they get there.
listen, there's got to be a small percentage of people your great aunt, Sally, that goes to visit, her 12th brother Jacob, that, and she ends up keeling over and having a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? That's got to happen somewhere.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but
Right.
it's extremely rare that people die at cemeteries. Maybe accidents, things like that.
Right.
Because I've seen accidents at cemeteries. I've seen people run over headstones, all sorts of wild stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm just seeing. I'm seeing what the good people are talking about.
well, our good buddy Jamie here is saying the debate is healthy. I thought he said something else, but did he submit that song?
No, he didn't.
My
I think
favorite
Jamie.
song in the whole world.
I think Jamie's 3 days behind us. He's talking.
Okay.
He's still talking about republic versus democracy, and maybe he called
Oh,
me
is he?
woke
All
or
right.
something. But it's
All
like
right. Well,
I
he'll
gave
catch up eventually.
I
He'll
gave
catch up
Jamie a
eventually.
shot. I gave Jamie a shot. It's gone. He missed it.
Yeah.
I would have
It's
played
gone,
his.
Jamie.
I would have played his
Maybe you
song, but
get lucky. Submit it. Maybe you'll get lucky.
maybe.
We'll
Um,
see. You catch him in a good mood.
what else, everybody? What is everybody? Anybody have any ghost problems this week that we could solve?
Ghost
I'm in the
problems.
ghost solving business. Who
Yeah.
wants us? Who wants me to solve some ghost problems? I'm ready for it.
Gasoline in a match.
Let's do it.
Gasoline in a match.
Um,
Yeah. So
somebody,
I'm.
and so somebody put on it's dude. Okay, here's something I want to talk to you about because you'll know this. So it's so funny because I'm new to all this posting videos and how well they do on different platforms or how poorly they do on different platforms. And some that do really, and for me, I haven't caught one that's gone viral yet, but I've got some that are in the high hundreds, a couple thousand, and some bomb on YouTube, crush on crush on TikTok, and vice versa. It's such a different beast, and I don't have the kind of time to sit here and like, um, make 16 different videos of the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, but
Yeah.
so it was so somebody posted on one of the videos I made that it's like, here's how you know your house is haunted. Your house isn't haunted, or something. It was like, because there's no such thing as ghosts. And then he made fun of me, right? So I was like, thank you for watching, and thanks for the troll like comment, like, and then he kept going. So then I kept going with just more kindness, saying, look, clearly you have no joy in your life, and it's like, if you don't this is you literally tuned into a paranormal channel, and it's like, this is what we do, and we're trying to have fun with it, and you're taking time out of your day to say something negative. So, change the channel if you don't like it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
since you got something to say, you clearly have no life. But then somebody
Well.
got on his side and said, I'm
Yeah.
the one with knowledge. And then I just was like, well, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
You too, my friend. And I
Yeah.
said, and
Yeah.
here's what I did too, dude. It was funny. I go, to prove you have no life, I will never respond to you again, but I bet 100% you're going to respond to this. And just to see. Now, I was hoping that would shut him up. But it's like, and it did because he didn't respond. Because I bet he's sitting there like, oh yeah, I won't respond to you. And it's like, yeah, because I don't want you to respond to me. But it's
Yeah.
just like, man, people get a lot of guts. I do think social media is an existential threat to civility for the entire country. I mean, it really does make everybody a horrible
Oh,
person.
100%. A
You
hundred
know?
percent. And listen, in 100 years, there's going to be studies on social media and mental health.
Oh,
There's going to be new sorts of disorders and all sorts of things in the next 100 years, all that have to do with social media.
oh yeah, it's a mess.
100%. There's just no way there's not. Because again, it's either they have no life or they have something wrong with them. Because why would you even bother getting involved in something that you don't believe in? You know,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
I
true.
don't believe in God. Therefore, I don't go to church.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't like baseball. Therefore, I don't watch baseball.
It's so
You
nuts,
know what
man.
I'm saying? Like,
It's like I have to tell everybody that ghosts don't exist, and I'm going to prove it by throwing it on a video that maybe 100 people have seen so far. I don't
yeah,
know. It's very strange. It's a
yeah,
whole very what people do. You know,
yeah,
it's like I could see why you would rather spend your day talking to ghosts. It makes
yeah.
more sense.
Well, that and as I was saying in the live earlier, it gets to the point because I know that this will grow. I know Splintered Spirits will grow because we're fucking awesome. Okay, I'm fucking awesome. He's awesome. You combine us together, it's just so much awesomeness. People are getting pregnant. Cancer's getting fucking miraculously healed.
It's
It is
true.
phenomenal. But listen,
And we
sooner
cannot
or
be held
later,
responsible for any pregnancies.
nope. Or cancer's cured. We don't want thank yous either. We're
No,
not we're not greedy like that.
no.
Sooner or later, this chat is going to be filled with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to be able to see the comments from the good people, not the assholes.
Right.
So that's where trolling after a while gets annoying. You want to see Jamie and Notorious and Hale and Corona and everybody that's commenting right now. You don't want to see some random person talking about you know piss coming out of your ass.
Skibbity toilets. Um,
Yeah, skibbity toilets. All those gooners out there. Dude, do you know about the gooner?
I don't know what a gooner is. I don't know
Oh,
what that
all
means.
right. Well, first off, it is the most amazing word to come out of that generation.
Gooner?
It is the most amazing word.
What does it mean?
It's somebody who excessively masturbates.
That's a great word for that.
It's a
What
great
is it based
word.
on? Like, what? How did they come up? Why is it called that?
I don't know. I don't know, and that's the beauty part about it. Like it's phenomenal. I use it all the time. I use it all the time.
I got to ask, like, oh, the gooner.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Like you know, my son's hanging out. Or my sons are hanging out with all their friends. I'll see them, leaving, a restaurant or walking, down the street, and all of a sudden I yell out the car, "You're a bunch of gooners!"
Oh, they
you
must
know,
love it.
dude. They love it.
That's
They love it. They're like, "Yo, that is the funny," because it's the best. It's the funniest word out of that generation. Out of all, I mean, come on, Skibbity, Ohio, all those stupid words that make no sense. Gooner, for some odd reason, makes sense for what it means.
this is strange. Should
Yeah.
we worry? Should we worry about this guy?
Which guy? Hold on. I goon every time y'all stream. Hey, nah, that means he likes us. As long as you keep it in your home and
Yeah,
not
sure.
out in public,
Yeah, I
keep
guess that's fine.
keep gooning, boy.
Keep gooning. I guess that works.
Yep.
So what else has been going on in the old ghost paranormal communications this week? Do you hear my AC going on and off? Do you hear that? Is that loud?
No, I
Is
don't hear it at all.
okay, great. I saw in the news or online too. Annabelle has been in the news. Have you seen this?
Yes,
Have you
yes.
seen it? They took her
In
to a
New
prison.
Orleans,
Yeah.
I believe it's in New Orleans.
I guess it's a it must be a promotional thing because they've got another movie about the Warrens coming out, The
Yes.
Conjuring.
Yes.
Um, I was hoping to find a like, first of all, I think I've seen one of those movies because fun fact about G, I am horrible at watching horror movies. I am terrified. I get
Are
scared.
you like my father?
Oh,
Are
maybe.
you like my father hides behind walls and then acts like he's not? It's the funniest thing.
No, I sit
It's
there
the
on the
funniest
couch
thing.
and I hold my dog. I hold my dog like this. And then like Katie will film me. She films me like and makes fun of me. Well, later I'm trying to find the video. I'll show it at one of the lives when she finds it. Um, but so I've
That's
seen only
funny.
one Conjuring movie, which was the first one, which is
Okay.
and it's terrifying. I think there's like an old woman because old as we discussed this many times in horror movies. Old women and small, young Asian children are clearly the worst demons, and they're
Yeah.
like they're sitting on top. And I think that one, the first one, is about which farm? It's like the parent family, right? That's the first movie.
That's yeah. That they call that. That's the house in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Do you
The
know anything
Conjuring
about it? What
house.
do you know about that house?
Oh man. All right. So the first thing I have to say is respectfully, you can't take away from anything that the Warrens have built as far as their notoriety, as far as their influence in the paranormal community. You can't take anything away from them. However, that house, I believe personally, is more about mental illness than paranormal.
Well, I just watched a podcast with that with the daughter, right? Andrea Perrin. Andrew,
Mhm.
yeah, of the family that lived there. I mean, she's saying she's seeing aliens. She's like, is she? Do we think this is untrue from her, or is it like we don't? I don't know. I'd have to dive deeper into it.
You have to dive deeper into it, but like for example, like if let's put it in this perspective. You take a schizophrenic, right? You take somebody who's clinically schizophrenic,
Yeah.
okay, and you put them in a paranormal situation. You won't be able to tell what is real and what is not real. You won't be able to tell what they're experiencing, if it's all in their head or if there's an external force that's causing them to see whatever they're seeing, or if the external force is triggering the schizophrenia itself or any sort of mental illness. So it's so hard. But the more I dove into everything and the more I did research on it, it seems more of a case of mental illness
Hmm.
throughout the family than actual paranormal. And it seems, and the Warrens allegedly have been known to do this, take advantage of people with mental illness.
Cass is saying the portrayal of Mary Buckout for the movie was based on there is terrifying. Wait, she's not talking. Cass, you're not talking about the Warrens. You're talking about a totally separate thing.
No, but the Buck Out movie supposedly is a combination, not just Buck Out. Like they based it off other things as well. So that's what she might be talking about.
I see.
So yeah,
I see.
yeah. But yeah,
Um.
that's
All right.
so it's so hard to tell what is what when it comes to the Conjuring to that just that house. You know, the Warrens are famous for other things too. The Annabelle doll has nothing to do with the Conjuring house. The only connection the Annabelle doll has with the Conjuring house is the Warrens. That's a story about, I think it was like two or three nurses that were experiencing all these issues and whatnot and getting all scratched up. And see, that's the other thing too.
Are you talking
When you
about what, the
dive into,
doll? Are you talking about the
yeah, with
doll?
the,
I'm
yeah, the
looking up the
doll.
doll. I want to look up the
When,
doll right now. So it's a
when you
Raggedy
dive
Ann
into
doll.
all, yeah, the Raggedy Ann doll, when you dive into all this, there's so much like information and trying to figure out what's actually factual is near impossible. Like it's just insane. Like
Sure.
I was doing so much reading and so much watching and going, wait a minute. In these, you know, 10 YouTube videos I just watched, there's so much misdirection and misinformation. It's not even funny.
How do we think that they got so popular? Because there's never, according to what what you read on the web with the Warrens, they have no real documented evidence. She claims to be a medium, but she has never been tested or certified by anyone.
No, no.
So it's like, because I wouldn't mind some of that Warren money. So like,
So they
what do
do
we?
have some evidence.
What should
They
we?
do have.
What should we
They
do?
do. Yeah.
How do we
Well,
Warren this
we have to
shit
be the
up?
equivalent of ambulance chasers. If I'm going to be frank about it, we got to
Right,
be the equivalents of ambulance chasers when it comes to the paranormal. You know what I mean?
right, right,
So
right, right.
that's the that's the deal with that. Um, but regardless, they do have some evidence though. Like they have
They got cool
there,
stuff.
there's been listen. There are two times in paranormal history when it comes to evidence that a that ghost children with bright white eyes have been caught. It's only and I'm talking about not pareidolia, not not like like, oh, is that something? Could that be something? It's happened twice in the history of paranormal. Once it was the Warrens in the Conjuring house, I believe. Okay?
Okay.
And the second time it was caught was years later by me.
Hey yo.
So they have some evidence. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they don't have they definitely do have evidence. The problem is that they allegedly have taken certain certain situations and blew them up to make money.
I guess they were involved.
Make it worse than what it is,
They were
you know?
involved in the Amityville horror. The Amityville. You
Yep.
ever go to the Amityville house?
All right, so I've never personally been to the Amityville house, but I did go in front of the second house, which is the house that they filmed the movie out of, because supposedly after they filmed the movie in that house, the house became haunted.
Right. I'm sure it did.
So I
That
thought
seems
that
like a
was more
cool.
interesting, the
I
actual
know. But
Amityville house
doesn't that
itself.
seem a little bit like a coincidence? Is that a
Well, I thought it was
coincidence?
more interesting. So I was like, I got to go check this place out. But it was just a regular house.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you didn't get anything.
Unfortunately, there were people living there and they
Oh,
weren't interested with me like documenting. They were trying to get as far away from the paranormal as possible.
sure.
They said they didn't want the activity to come back. So it was very genuine. It's not like they were looking for anything. They were like, no, we want nothing to do with this. Things have finally calmed down here, you know.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty genuine. It made me even more interested in the house itself. So, or at least the story, like, how did the filming of this place cause it to become haunted? Like,
Right.
I just thought it was pretty interesting.
Their
But then
big
there's
their big
what was
one is the Smurl haunting.
so is that the one with the little boy that they said was possessed with like 40 demons?
So that's the one where the Smurl family reported 15 years of disturbing behavior in their Pennsylvania duplex. Pennsylvania, by the way. Let's just point that out. Foul odors, scratches, shaking beds, and alleged sexual assaults by a demon. So that was the one that ended their whole. They apparently retired after that.
Okay.
Like that was the one that took them to the end of their sort of thing. And they made them. There was a movie called The Haunted that was inspired by them, but I think that's what this last movie is going to be.
Okay.
But I don't know enough about it. What do we know about the Smurl haunting? Why don't guys? If only we had a device that can help us find out about the Smurl haunting. And guess what? We
I
do.
mean, do you want me to hit up my perplexity?
How do you like Perplexity?
The only thing I don't like is it gives you limitations on things.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll be like for example, if I'm doing research into say Buckout and I say, hey, can you compile me a list of, all the, the murders or the killings and the details? It'll go, Okay, well, here's a list of all the murders that happened from 1950 to 2025. But unfortunately, due to the graphic nature, I can't give you the details. And it's like, bitch, what am I paying you for?
Right. So
You know?
here's what we know about here's what the quick summary of Smurl is, right? Refers to a case investigated by Ed and Lorraine Warren in 86. They're in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, between 74 and 89. So they reported objects disappearing and reappearing, disembodied voices, noises, physical attacks on family members and the dog.
I'll leave the dog alone. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. It's like so that's their big sort of thing.
Uh,
I'm gonna look it up on Wikipedia and see.
I know
I don't even know where
recently,
West Pittston is.
I'm not sure which case it is, but they dealt with a case. It might be that one where they figured out that the source of the haunting was because a 11-year-old boy was possessed by like 30, 40 demons, and the older brother finally came out speaking about it after all these years and said, "Hey, my brother was mentally ill, and these people took advantage of him and my entire family."
Uh,
And like that was big, and it was like, oh shit. So my whole thing with the Warrens and all of that, anything attached to them, is, was there probably something going on? Yes. Was it what they claimed? I don't know. I just can't trust what they claimed. Someone like me would need to go in there to these locations and, do my own documenting to see if, you know, anything like pops up or is said that matches what, they claimed was going on.
it's hard to say, man. It's just like
Huh.
these are fun. These are like fun locations these guys got. But that doll, man, really has a lot of action on it.
So, I'd love to get my hands on that doll. I say it all the time when the doll gets brought up. I would love it. And honestly, people would end up hating me because I would probably do things with that doll that people would be like, "Oh my god, this guy is crazy," and then nothing would happen to me, and I'd be
Right.
like, how much of this is actually accurate? So people would end up hating me if I ever got my hands on it. I already know it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure.
Imagine the conversations between the Annabelle doll and Frumpy.
Well, because yeah, I mean, because people they're they take it up very seriously.
Very serious.
So if
like
you,
like for example, like that the Annabelle doll originally was like scratching two women, from what I remember correctly.
mhm.
Who and the Annabelle doll then had blood, behind its hands, what would be its hands. Like that was one of the big things that were reported. So who's to say that another spirit or entity didn't do that and then went and touched the doll?
um, yeah, dude. I mean, but it's like I don't know. Maybe we should try to have a séance around a doll and create a ghost doll, and then put it in a glass box and tour with it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, listen, how do we get Frumpy to come to life?
Yeah.
We could, if we did it, probably have to look. We can get some blood somewhere, and then
Yeah,
we'll do some,
definitely.
and then we'll possess it, and then it'll be like, dude, this is like a possessed, and then we'll keep
The
it in
battery
like we'll
be
we'll
like,
lock it, and we won't just put it in a glass box, dude. We'll lock it up like Hannibal Lecter, so people really fear it inside the cage. It's like no, don't like we'll cover its mouth with a thing. Like it'll be like this doll is dangerous.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know. Well, the
Well, it
Philip.
would be great. It would be great if we had the ability to do that. It would be awesome to create two. One that is not haunted and one that is. And just and have it tour around and then study people's behavior, how they react, and what
Oh,
happens
you mean conduct their own
with
experiment and not tell them which one's haunted?
exactly.
Right.
That'd be wild to do too.
Well, we would just have to right, but they don't know which one they're getting. They could be getting the placebo, is what you're saying.
They could be getting the placebo.
Right.
They could be
It's
getting the placebo.
right,
So
right,
I
right.
think that would be crazy too. But that, you know what? Listen, again, I'm going to say it again. You cannot knock what the Warrens have built.
That's true.
You
Someone
know,
was bringing up the Philip experiment, but that's, I believe, was a seance. The Philip experiment was a Ouija board thing. No, I think that's a big.
I can't I can't remember.
That's a good one. It's a good thing on you. You can check that out on YouTube. They show the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like shit's moving around. It's wild.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
then
you know what's wild too is when Lorraine went to do the consulting for the first Conjuring movie, in her agreement, she straight up said, I do not want my husband portrayed in a negative light for any of the allegations against him. So clearly, even then she was trying to protect their reputation.
right,
So we don't truly know exactly what the real deal is with them or any of their investigations. And unfortunately, because of all the allegations, this isn't like, oh, yeah, they're fake. You know what I mean? That everybody gets, every paranormal investigator, documenter, hunter, no matter what you do, psychic, medium, you're always going to get those allegations. Oh, you're fake.
right now, John. All I'm thinking about is how to bring a doll to life.
That's what you're stuck on
That's
bringing
like
the
I'm
doll to
trying to
life,
think
huh?
about, like,
Yeah.
how do we create Chucky?
Well, if I go back on my videos, I'm pretty sure that I almost had a little girl spirit, 6 years old, go into a doll at the cemetery,
Well, that's cool.
if I remember correctly.
And what happened with that?
I think my big mouth got involved, and I threatened to kick the doll if it moved. And I think I stopped the process. But she was talking about like going into the doll.
Well, I like this. Do we believe Amityville? Do we believe that story in general? That's a crazy story. So that was like, so then, all right. So the family got murdered there, and then another family moved in and were haunted by the family that got murdered there. Right? That's the whole thing. That's the classic, like, get out.
That's the
That's the
gist.
very sort of. It's a good movie. It's terrifying. Um,
Yeah.
do we believe it? It seems it's not like,
Do I think it's possible? Yes.
yeah. I mean, if look, we're not debunk. I mean, we're doing a fucking ghost podcast, guys. I guess we sort of believe something's out there, and so it's like, I think something happened with that family enough to move. Do you know what? Listen, think about this. I can't think of anything worse than moving. Moving is a stressful,
Sucks.
horrible situation. Imagine,
Yep.
and with kids, packing up, moving your stuff, like finding a
Yep.
new place, like the whole, there's nothing fun about it. So the
Nothing.
fact that they were in this house and it was such a horrific experience of something that they moved tells you something was wrong, right? Like something's at, because it's not like you don't just move on a whim.
Well, didn't
It's
that happen to
awful.
the
It's awful
what were they
stuff.
called? The Perron family? Perion?
The Perron
That's the
family's
house in
that's the
Rhode.
farm one. Yeah, that's the
That's the farm, the house in Rhode Island. The
yeah.
only reason why they never got out of there is they couldn't afford it. They
Right.
couldn't afford to leave. So imagine that. Imagine being in a house that you want to get out of, but you can't financially.
No, it's awful. It's awful. But
I
it's like,
wonder what
how
that
would you?
reminds me of.
But it's like, okay, so
Who's going through that right now? Somebody we know is going through that right now. Huh. I can't remember. Oh yeah, me. I want to get the hell out of the undisclosed
well,
location.
hopefully we get some more followers on this thing and the hours pick up. If you guys haven't caught up on the old podcast, we have got 10 episodes out there, plus all the lives. If you haven't listened to all 10 on Spotify or YouTube, please do. They're pretty fun. And we got one coming up that's an interesting one. So we got a few of these coming up. And the next episode, 11 on Tuesday, is with a psychic medium and minister of spiritualism. Her name is Simone Key. She's been doing this for like 40 years. And she is the psychic medium who was a tutor or teacher at the Arthur Findlay School in the UK, who uh, was one of the people critiquing and training our friend, Kathy Nadal, who we believe is
An
wild
awesome medium.
and awesome. So, and what was really, and it's really interesting. She has a couple of, it's just her perspective on thing. And one things is, look, she does believe in, and I tease her about it a little because it's like she does believe in the divine and all this, and the way she talks about spirits. And I was like, you sound like an AA meeting. You know what I mean? Like a higher power. But she also believes it's an energy, right? So and she's not the only one. And there's going to be another one, a gentleman I spoke to by the name of Robert Ginsburg, who started the Forever Family Foundation. They've already, they've only certified, I don't know, 20 psychics, 27 psychics or something in their history, and they have numerous ones per year. They've been around for years and years, and they're the ones who are not for profit, mainly to help grieving people. So they really try to rule out um, charlatans, people just looking for money. Uh, a famous medium was like the Long Island medium. She was a Forever Family Foundation. She was certified by them. And he tells me, he's like, he's like, once we certify people, they tend to get famous, and then they make money. He's like, we don't make any money, but he's like, when they have our certificate, they start to make money. Um, but also, he as well believes in an energy, which, the sort of foundation of what we've been talking about here is what spirits are, and that sort of idea of energy. And I have yet to hear. I want to get on somebody who's really into the whole soul thing and because I want to get that angle in and see why. Like, what are they?
That's more religious.
Yeah, I want the
You
more. I
got
want
to
to
get
hear.
someone more
I
a
want to hear the
religious tone.
religious side of it, of like what they think it is. Then, um, but so far, even these two people who are spiritual, um, lean into the energy angle. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, it's like, anyway, it's just sort of where we're going with this whole thing and this idea of spirit communication. I never heard the Warrens talk about, like, kind of a cool spirit. It seems like every spirit they've spoken, or at least the ones that are popular, are like, there's no Casper the Friendly Ghosts when you're dealing with the Warrens.
No, but see, that's the thing with a lot of people that deal with the paranormal. No matter what they believe in, it's always hell, demons, evil, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on, time out. We know that's not the way the world works. We know
Right,
that's not the way the world works. There's
right,
good, bad, and everything in between. And there's a lot of gray out there. And so that's always my first red flag right off the bat.
yeah,
Like, that's a biggest red flag for me ever is when somebody's always about evil, 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 evil. Like, even at Buck Out, spirits warn me about things,
right,
and it's
right,
it's it's not all bad. It's so that's always a big red flag for me.
right. When it's all
Always.
bad, yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. I could
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you know Brandon? He's one of your followers on the chat, or is he a new guy? He's clearly trying out his solid 7 minute stand up set for improv night at the local haha hole in his
Yeah.
town.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I have
He's
no
like,
idea who he is.
he's just dropping dad jokes left and
Oh,
right.
wait a minute. I recognize him. He's that dude that's obsessed with you.
That's
He's obsessed with you.
That might be true. He's
I
trying.
think he is.
He's got a solid 7. He's
He's
trying
probably
out.
sitting here doing it right now, looking right into your eyes, and you don't even know it. And it's your fault because you were sucking on that popsicle before.
It was delicious. It
So
was a delicious popsicle.
you got him going like
I
crazy.
got him all riled up.
Yep.
Got him all right. If I talk in a slow, low voice,
That's it. Do it. Get him
gonna
all
get
crazy.
everybody. It's gonna get everybody. Turn your speaker down and sit on it and hear the
Yeah.
vibration of the bass.
Oh, wait.
It's funny.
Little Howard Stern reference.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
I haven't listened to Howard Stern in a while. I'm too busy with this. I'm too busy trying to talk to ghosts.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
What else you got coming up? What else is hot? So listen, Tuesday. It's about just to recap on that. Tuesday with Saman Key. I think that's going to be an interesting one because when I was talking about videos that are popping and what's not, like she describes what trance is versus channeling, and that video on YouTube is like blowing up, and it's a slow roll. That's another thing about the YouTube algorithm. It's a slower roll than TikTok. Like that one takes
Yeah.
time to build, but it's just sort of a thing, man. People like that aspect of it. It's sort of a more of an educational look at what is mediumship and how to play it. And she came up with my favorite word, which is I want to wear it out, which is clairvagueness. In terms of people who are fraudulent, people are
Clear
they claim to
Vegas.
be clairvoyant, but they just say the broad things. And she's like,
Yes.
"Yeah, we call that clairvagueness," and it's like, oh,
Yes.
it's so clever.
Yeah. Well, Claire Vagueness is the opposite of what Kathy was.
Yes, that's what's great. I mean, it's just very,
Yeah.
So anyway, check. I think if you're into this and you want to hear it, like, see this deep dive that we're trying to do on all these things is fun. These lives are just loose and fun and just sort of a little bit of shopkeeping and just catching up. But the podcast itself, we're gonna get some good stuff. And then after our friend Simon Key, that's when we have our telephone calls from the grave. And that's a great
Which
episode,
is,
guys. That's you want to talk.
you guys don't want to miss
We
that. You
take
want to
spirit
check
communi-
that out.
we take spirit
Even if you
communication.
haven't caught up yet, stop what you're doing, stop where you're at,
Yeah,
jump to that one, and
yeah,
then go back and finish what you got to catch up on.
yeah.
Like, it is
It's a
just,
great one. I mean, spirit
it's
communication, how tech, what does tech play, and how are we, these things have been they've been studied now, and people are tracking them for years and years, and tech is not. You'd think tech might be making things easier, but not necessarily.
no.
It's just it's really starting to
Well,
complicate
look at
stuff.
the murkiness in what I do.
Oh yeah, dude, people hate it.
Every expert we've
People
talked,
love it or
everybody
hate it.
we've talked to,
Yeah,
most of them, not gonna say everyone,
no,
but most of the people that we speak to do not believe in the validity of the phone apps.
no.
They don't. They do not.
Oh,
You know.
Fresco Girl, was that your mirror? Was that your video? I'm glad I could do it. So look, if you submit ghost stories without evidence, the odds are John and I will either talk about it during a live or in a side video. If you have evidence, you have a much greater chance of it getting shown.
Yeah.
That's sort of because we're trying to show some shit. But if you just got a story, um, we'll try to tell it in a fun way, in as fun a way as possible. Somebody else left me a story. That video is dropping in a couple days. I made another video about it, which is pretty cool. But anyway, so
So
yeah, no, the back to the phone apps. You're right. Sorry, John, I cut you off. I wasn't.
no, it's all good.
But the phone app, like I said, dude, I don't know what's going on with those phone apps. If the people of GhostTube, the good PR folks at GhostTube, are to be believed in how it works, they're saying it's not a word bank. It's random. It's randomized for the radio one,
Yeah.
for the one that you like.
Well, they're lying. I hate to say it like that, but
You're
if
saying
they
there's a
claim
word
it's not
bank.
a, well, hold on. It depends on their wording because it's definitely a sound bank. It's 100% a sound bank. You can hear what they do. They literally take radio transmissions and put them in a bank. They 100% do. It might not be a word bank like GhostTube Original, where it's the actual words, but they're taking, for example, level up my business. You'll hear that on my live so much. That's one of those advertisements from the radio
So you
that
think
they're
it's
putting.
so you think it's capturing something, some certain phrases, and holding on to it somehow?
Yes, and it cycles through. Sooner or later, we're going to stop hearing the level up my business and it'll be a different one. So it's definitely a bank of some
But is
sort.
that
It's
it?
not a
But is that an
word bank.
advertisement? Because advertisements run for a period of time.
Well, yeah.
You see what I'm
So
saying? But you see what I'm saying? If it's picking up radio waves or digital radio, it
yeah,
might have pulled that because that ad is running on this. Somebody bought ad time for a few weeks.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Yep.
don't
And then
know.
sooner or later, it'll disappear
It'll dissipate. But you think it still might be holding on to that for okay.
for
But
a
let's say
bit.
that's true. This is the thing that I say. Let's say that is the case. Um, and it holds on to it. It seems really perfect for when you ask questions, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just sort of, you know what I'm saying? It seems really perfect. Like, look, if I open this app, it doesn't, I don't get dick.
yeah,
Where is it?
yeah.
It's Vox, right?
Yeah, Vox, VOX. Yep. Yep. We used to, as people in the chat are saying, we used to hear the Capital One all the time. So instead of saying what's in your wallet, I'd say what's in your casket, and crack that joke. What's in your casket? But
Oh,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And then the spirits manipulate that, So that's basically the way, like, for example, when I'm here in the tower, you know, we'll hear about Shopify. Well, that's to level up your business. That's just a different one.
yeah,
But you'll hear the
right.
word Shopify. In the tower, the spirits can change that to Shaba, which
That's
is
interesting.
wild.
Well, that one is going like, fuck you, John. Where's that coming from?
That was, I think that was Ghost Tube Original. I think that was Ghost Tube Original. I have to go. It was low. I have to go. I clipped it, but I didn't release it yet. I have to go and listen to it. I think it was go. I didn't hear it. That was the problem. I was in the bathroom.
Dude, it was the moment you got up and went to the bathroom. She goes, fuck you, John.
Yeah, yeah. That was Lisa. That we have a spirit here named Lisa in the tower. That's just she gets pissed off when I use the bathroom. It's
So I've got
actually really funny.
I've got Ghost Tube running. You might have heard 3 garbledy sounds
Yeah,
that make no sense.
yeah,
Whereas when you've got it running, it's words. And I don't know
yeah.
if it's crazy. Uh,
Basically, hell. Basically,
Energy changes and affects the app, which makes the sound bake trigger, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Or it's John that makes it trigger as well, among other things, because other people don't get it. I think there's some common phrases that it might latch onto, right? Like leave here or no or go away. Those seem to be some
Maybe.
staples that
Yeah,
you always get with ghost apps for sure.
yeah.
So that doesn't really impress me. But when it gets specific, I mean, is it tapped into your phone? How would it know your name? I don't
Well,
understand.
now here's the crazy thing though. Don't even worry about the name. Here's the crazy thing to think about. When I'm using Vox, say I'm at a cemetery and I'm using Vox, and
Yeah.
I'm standing in front of a headstone, and it says the name on the headstone,
Yes.
right?
I mean, what are we talking about here,
A,
man?
a,
I mean,
a
just
a
like,
logical person would turn around. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. A logical person will turn around and say, "Oh, well, the phone that John is using for Vox must be facing the headstone." Great argument. That would be excellent, and I could back that up 100% if the phone wasn't strapped to my wrist down to the side when I'm
um,
standing there,
and your
or pointed up while I'm having a cigarette. You
and
know
your
what I'm saying? Because
location's
it's right
off,
here.
right? Yeah.
Like that's how it rests. It's not like I'm facing like this. So
And your
how does it do
location's
it?
off too, right?
What happened?
And your location's off too,
My
right?
location's off. Yes. Yes. The
I don't know how to
location's
pronounce
off.
this girl name, but I like when I see a Facebook person like Rhiannon Mustapic. That's a crazy name. I'm probably saying it wrong, but welcome.
So that's
Um,
where it gets crazy. Because listen, I sit here and I ignore a lot of shit that comes out of these spirit boxes, and I do it for a multitude of reasons. But one of them is because of my skepticism. Like for example, people get hung up when the spirit box says pamphlet. Lately, it's been saying pamphlet, pamphlet, pamphlet
yeah,
constantly, and it's
yeah.
like, who gives a shit? If that's
Right.
all it's saying, who gives a shit? Like, okay, that might be something, but the spirits aren't telling us. So why do I care? Why am I going to get hung up on it? No, I'm just going to keep,
Oh,
keep
Jeff
trucking.
Jeff Virgil just got here. He's saying he's sorry he's late. Sorry, guys. We got to start over. We got to start the whole thing over because Jeff's here.
Whole thing over.
We're gonna start from
Well,
the back.
Jeff,
Jeff, just for you, babe. We're gonna start over.
Jeff, you came just in time because I have a little announcement I'm making. I have a little announcement, Jeff. I have strict rules when I do this about how I perform professionally. All right. I don't
You
like to
still
go to
talking about
places.
ghosts?
I don't like to go to places that I'm not invited.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like to go to places that's illegal. where I'm not supposed to be there unless I get permission.
Right.
Okay. But going back into the Warrens, going back into the Conjuring, the house in Rhode Island, okay, used to be open to the public. There was a whole business snafu that happened. They lost their licensing or whatever. The business fell apart. They're no longer allowed to operate it in Rhode Island. Okay. The house is sitting there abandoned. It's still owned by the person who owns it, but they don't live there. The house just sits and nothing is going on. I'm going to Rhode Island and I'm going to the fucking house. I'm not going to break into the house. That I'm not going to do. That's just against the law.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would think you're, from the looks of you, that you're a cat burglar.
Yeah. I'm going to walk the property and I want to see what the spirits have to say. Because if the spirits are outside, I'm going to pick up stuff on the outside. I mean, if they're inside, I'll definitely pick up stuff on the outside. And I want to see, I just want to, even if I'm like in the street facing the house.
Right. What do we think's in that house, though? Why would we think? Oh, you're talking about you're talking about the Perrin family farm or the
Yes.
Conjuring? Is that what you're saying is the Conjuring house or their old house where they used to keep their all their creepy shit?
No. The Conjuring house is the Perrin family farm in Rhode
Oh,
Island.
okay. I thought the Conjuring house was
Not the
their
Warren
house.
Museum.
Oh, okay.
Not the Warren Museum.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
All right. So you're
talking. I'm gonna go there. Not gonna break in, obviously. That's crazy. I'm gonna go see what I can hear. All right. What do I think is there? I don't know.
right.
There's just so much speculation. There's just so much BS rooted with the place as well. I'm curious to what I'm going to pick up. I mean, listen, what's the name of that entity? Bashaba. Supposedly there was a woman there that worshipped the devil, that killed children. Who knows how fucking real all that is? There could have been a woman named there, Bathsheba, that was just a little off. Who's to say that she was worshiping the devil and killing children, right? We don't know. Supposedly, there's tons of soldiers that are on the property. I've heard so many different things.
Right.
I'm just very curious as to what I will pick up.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I'm curious about. What am I gonna pick up? Being raw, unbiased, and just going in there and on the outside of the property, and seeing what's up.
That's right, Spicy Kitten. We are unfiltered. We have no mods.
No mods.
That's right. No mods. Unfiltered.
No mods.
Unfiltered. Splintered spirits. Unfiltered.
Unaffected by rule.
No rule.
Unruly.
No laws. All ghosts.
Wild.
Just wild ghosts.
And people. So yeah.
People.
So I don't know when I'm going. It's definitely going to be in the next couple of weeks now.
I can't wait to get to LA. I hope that happens because we'll have some.
Yeah, that's going to be fun too. August.
Yeah, we'll have some fun and do that.
Yeah.
We'll get some real shit.
Yep.
All right, guys, what can I tell you here? So I need this family of fans to listen to the podcast, to subscribe. Look, man, if you like this thing, subscribe, follow, listen, and tell us what you want to hear. I mean, we're live every week. This is a good place to try shit out and give you guys some, answer your questions. The AMAs, man, ask me anything. Yeah. That's what we'll try to do. We'll try to answer on it. You know what I mean? You're dead.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and don't forget about your ghost stories. If you got any ghost stories with some evidence, we would love to hear it and see it.
Yeah. Oh, evidence is the shit. If you've got evidence, we'll have some real fun with that. I mean, that's really the best thing. Evidence would be great. But we like your ghost stories too, man, because I need to make some fun videos and I like goofing on it. And it's like, And I don't mean to be goofing on it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm just saying I hope you understand that. I'm giving my impression of what I would do if I was in that situation, which is probably run because I'm a big pussy. I don't want to say what a ghost. So I can get
Oh,
out of it.
lotto numbers. That, you know what, Mona May, that's actually really interesting because they have lotto in LA, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Well,
that would be really interesting if we went and we did like let the spirits guessing the lotto numbers
but
and
John,
we
it's like,
try it out.
look, guys, I got some PT, what would you call it? Post-traumatic ghost disorder, or I could call it PTSD, post-traumatic spirit disorder from the
Yeah.
March Madness, because they did me dirty.
Yeah.
We had a couple wins in day one, but then day two went to total shit.
Yeah,
I
they
lost,
did you guys so
I
dirty.
lost my whole bracket in the second day of the tournament.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I got post-traumatic spirit disorder. So I don't know if
Yeah.
I want to put money down based on their whatever numbers they're going to give me. It's going to
I
be
know.
horse shit, you
It's a
know?
gamble.
It's total gamble. It's
It's a gamble for sure. I mean,
but
that's the whole point. But
Mona
now we're
May,
just
if you
having
want to give us some money to put on those numbers for you, we will
you get
gladly
10%.
for 10 for 10 for a fee. We will
10% of
gladly
that
do it.
winnings goes to you. We hit
You know,
big, guess what?
yeah. You know, we'll take the
Who
actually
didn't?
we'll take no, we'll give her the majority of it, but we will be taking the 10% for being
Oh, we could do that too.
for
That's very
channeling
generous.
for
Then
channeling the
20%. Then
spirit
20%.
for channeling the spirit numbers to you and giving you that privilege of winning based on the spirits. We are going to take a cut.
Cuts. I
Shit's
don't know why, but that old Sesame Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
in
7, 8,
everybody's
9,
head.
10, 11, 12 just popped into my fucking head.
It's like, dude,
Remember
this
that
ain't
from the
of
70s?
course, dude. Look, this ain't ghost friends. This is ghost business. You know what I'm saying?
Ghost business.
We ain't in the ghost friend business. We're in the
Ghost
straight
business.
ghost business.
That's it.
You know
Ghostly
what I mean?
business, yo.
What do you got going on
Ghostly
tonight? So,
business.
what's your plan for tonight while we wrap this up?
Oh man, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. I mean, dude, I don't know if I want to go to a cemetery.
It's
I don't
raining
know if
still.
I want to go to Buckout. I don't know if I want to go to visit, see if Ann Purdy's back at the pre-Revolutionary War burial ground.
Why don't you just go to
I
the
don't
base?
know what
Why don't you
I
just go to
want
the
to do.
fireplace room? It's raining outside. Let's
Fireplace room.
see what
I
Edward
don't know.
does.
That's a bonus session right there.
Oh, they like it.
You
They like
know.
it. They like it too much. They got to earn it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that place is. I can't stand the undisclosed location. To be
Mm.
honest with you, I really don't like it.
You
The
setting up some
field's
bad energy?
okay. The field's okay. The fireplace room, I could take or leave. The abandoned side in the incinerator room, I'm not a big fan of. One for just the atmosphere of the incinerator room and the breathing and whatnot, and the abandoned side because I don't feel like taking a brick to the face.
Why
Um,
would you? Why would anyone?
yeah, exactly. The field's all right though. The field's nice, array of spirits out there coming through. But yeah, it's like going back like I said, like I want to get out of there so bad. Like I'm doing everything in my power to get out of that place.
Um,
It's just not a good place. And listen, sooner or later, pipes are gonna break in that motherfucker. The management's not gonna do anything about it,
they're
and
gonna
the
expect you to
fireplace
do it,
room will be lost. Like
right? They expect you to
so.
do it. They're gonna expect you to fix it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's not happening. That's not happening. I mean, the place is crumbling. You know what I'm saying? Place is crumbling
I'll miss
as we
Edward.
speak. It's
I will
crumbling.
miss Edward when you leave there.
Yeah,
But all right,
yeah.
guys. Now we're rambling. So
Rambling strong.
we're gonna wrap
Well,
this
it's been
all
an
up.
hour.
It's been a good
It's been an
hour.
hour. Thank you,
Um,
everybody.
I'll try to
Appreciate
find that.
everyone that
I'll try to find
came
that
in.
video of me scared.
Yeah,
Which would be funny.
that would be funny.
Oh, and
Guys,
listen,
thank you.
yeah, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Please follow, like, subscribe wherever the podcast is. Splintered Spirits. Go to the website, sign up for our mailing list. Don't miss an episode. We got some fun ones coming out, especially Tuesday. Tuesday. Splintered Spirits. John, it's been fun. Be careful
Gary,
tonight.
always.
Get that bear spray. You know what
We.
for.
Oh, I know.
All right, everybody. Adios.
Later. What's up?
Hey, John. So look, we're off the air. So I ended the live. So did you do what you said you were going to do yesterday about taking the notes from all what we got to send back?
I lost communication with the mothership. I lost clear communication with the mothership. That's why I didn't go out anywhere today. I could have went out to the cemetery, whatever. I couldn't do it. I was working on I can't get the components. I can't get the components.
What do we
They're
need to
not
get?
on Earth.
What do we
They're
need to
not
get?
on Earth. I don't know what to do. Human technology has not reached the pinnacle yet. We're fucked. We're stranded here unless they realize that we can't communicate
So
with
I got
them.
to start all this all over again, because then it becomes, this has been all the data I'm collecting from all of these fucking people who are like feeding us information. Now I've got to go and get more of it because we're missing a few
Oh yeah, we only
pieces.
had one shot to send it, and it gone.
All right, dude.
Gone.
We'll all right. I'm gonna go. We'll pick this up later. We'll pick
All
it
right,
up
and
later.
listen, we can't send it, and I don't want to shoot another shot until we know we have clear communication with the mothership.
All
That's
right.
the problem.
All right. I'll figure out what's going on. Let me see if I can
I,
dial it in.
I just hope it's not some like cross-dimensional wormhole with another reality.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what
That's the
happens.
problem.
We'll see what happens.
Because then we're screwed.
Let me try it out my end. You know that here in LA, we're a little bit closer to the ship. So let me figure this out.
Yeah, and the other problem I'm having too is my hologram family is falling apart. Like I've had to call one of my kids out for school all week because I can't get them up and running again.
Well,
I
look,
really
dude,
don't know what we're gonna do. What's
well,
gonna happen next? We're gonna be live, and these people are gonna see our true forms.
at least he's in public school, and they don't really they're not keeping track of that very well.
Yeah, I know. That's the only good thing. Human society is so fucked. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you're allowed to say that, but you shouldn't say that word. But anyway, we'll
I
figure this
shouldn't
out
say
later.
that word. I know.
I
I'm
will.
trying.
They're
Well, it
gonna.
means
They're gonna.
something different for us.
Right. All right. I will talk to you. We'll figure this out later. All right, brother.
All right.
See ya.
All right. Later.